Former President Donald Trump is set to make a campaign stop in Bozeman this Friday for a rally at MSU's Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. But not only does it come with a price tag, some cities are still waiting for payment from previous rally visits. NBC Montana's investigative reporter Bowen West dug into the numbers for hosting rallies.
Back in 2018, former President Donald Trump visited Montana 4 times, holding rallies in Billings, Bozeman, Great Falls, and Missoula. Around the country, reports claim his campaign rarely pays invoices to local government for the increased police presence, security, and other costs that come with hosting the event. I reached out to Missoula County, where officials confirmed and sent me this invoice. See it for yourselves. It shows nearly $13,000 is still owed. I searched through NBC Montana's previous coverage, showing over $10,000 of that cost was for officer salaries, $1,059 for dispatcher salaries, nearly $700 for Office of Emergency Management, and over $300 for miscellaneous expenses. I asked an official with the city of Billings if they were reimbursed for the cost of additional police presence totaling $45,900. They said no. On the other hand, Cascade County Commissioner Jim Larson tells me the rally in Great Falls in July of 2018 was paid off. I emailed Larson about the disputed payment.
I didn't pay any attention to it at that time, and now with your email, I called them, and there never was any real outstanding debt.
They delivered me the invoice showing the over $9,000 bill for hosting the rally was paid off later that same year. I checked with the city of Bozeman and Gallatin County to see if the rally in 2018 was ever reimbursed and if they had any projections for the cost of this Friday's rally. I did not hear back before filing this story. I'll continue to monitor this story and see if the trend continues. Make sure to watch NBC Montana for our coverage of the rally on air and online. Reporting in Missoula, Bowen West, NBC Montana.
NBC Montana contacted the Federal Election Commission to see if failing to pay rally support costs is common, and if so, if it's illegal. We were told they can't comment on specific candidates, but commission regulations say they do not specifically mandate campaigns have to reimburse state or local municipalities. Well, in Montana, new questions tonight about former Montana State professor and paleontologist Jack Horner, the scientist who helped inspire Jurassic Park, after newly released documents link him to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. NBC Montana's Bowen West details the records, including emails describing a 2012 visit to Epstein's New Mexico ranch.
Jack Horner is one of Montana's most recognized scientists, a groundbreaking paleontologist who helped rewrite what we know about dinosaurs. But last week, his name appears in a different kind of file. Thousands of documents released by the U.S. Department of Justice related to Jeffrey Epstein. In emails released from 2012, Horner thanks Epstein and the girls for hosting him at the financier's New Mexico ranch. He describes the property's geology, even mentioning its potential for fossils. Horner also discussed his Dino Chicken project, a controversial effort to reverse engineer a bird to more closely resemble a dinosaur, and sought Epstein's support for a conference connected to the research. Montana State University confirmed Horner visited the ranch in the summer of 2012 as part of a paleontology tour. Horner retired 4 years later. According to reporting from the Montana Standard, a statement posted online last week, Horner said he knew Epstein had a prior conviction for soliciting prostitution, but claimed he was unaware of the broader sex trafficking network when he met him. He called the decision to seek funding from Epstein, quote, extremely poor judgment. The Society of Vertebrate Paleontology released a notice to members last week urging caution, saying a name in the Epstein files does not necessarily indicate wrongdoing. Horner later deleted that statement from his social media accounts. NBC Montana reached out for comment but has not heard back. Reporting in studio, Bowen West, NBC Montana.
As we come on the air with our live broadcast at 10 o'clock, NBC Montana is digging through legal cases across the country regarding exposure to dangerous levels of asbestos. Some say the origin is talc from a mine right here in Montana. Now, a U.S. bankruptcy court judge in Texas is asking a district court to rule on whether talc sold by Barrett's Minerals contained enough asbestos to cause disease. Investigative reporter Bowen West breaks down the details.
The defunct Barrett's Minerals, now known as Barrett's Minerals Old Co. Incorporated, filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy to resolve current and future asbestos-related claims. Not just for itself, but also its parent companies, Specialty Minerals Incorporated and New York-based Minerals Technologies Incorporated. According to their 2024 report, the companies received over $2 billion in sales.
Which is a $2 billion company that can easily and fairly compensate the victims of their negligence, but they don't want to. They'd rather abuse the bankruptcy system.
Clay Thompson represents clients across the nation seeking damages after being diagnosed with a rare cancer known as mesothelioma. They claim it was caused by talc from Barrett's Minerals, mined in Dillon, Montana. A statement from Minerals Technologies Incorporated Chairman Douglas Dietrich says lawsuits against BMI Old Co. are meritless and talc the company sold has always been safe. A spokesperson for BMI Old Co. sent a statement to NBC Montana which said, quote, BMI Old Co. stands by the safety of our talc. Our goals have always been to achieve a consensual resolution of the company's talc-related liabilities that is fair and certain for all stakeholders, including claimants, and to maximize BMI Old Co.'s assets, including claims. We remain committed to those goals. This April, a Texas judge said the company could continue filing its Chapter 11 case despite claims Barrett's is using bankruptcy protections to shield its parent companies. According to legal documents I found, Barrett's Ventures Texas LLC owns land in Texas and receives money from several businesses on the property. That's how they were able to file in the Lone Star State.
Barrett's and MTI and SMI want to avoid that. They want to avoid state law, not just in Montana, but in New York and Pennsylvania and everywhere else. And they want one bankruptcy court in the Southern District of Texas to decide for all time what they are obligated to compensate people.
As for the mine near Dillon, in 2024, private equity firm Riverspan Partners purchased the mine and the supplies. Starting this year, the company now goes as High Divide Minerals. I requested an interview with the new group to get information on their mine operations. They declined my phone calls. NBC Montana visited the plant and were denied an in-person interview. I would learn that the company is prohibited from commenting on pre-transaction operations. High Divide Minerals general manager sent a statement. Josh Reagan said High Divide's acquisition marked a new chapter for the mine, going on to say they're tracking the bankruptcy proceedings and will focus on adding new employees, prioritizing investments, and upholding the values of safety, environmental stewardship.
We objected to the sale because it's an asbestos mine, essentially. And they're taking this poison out of the ground even now and selling it.
Thompson told me lawyers for the claimants are trying to appeal the ruling for Chapter 11.
MTI and SMI marketed this talc, they sold it, they trademarked it, and they're trying to use BMI as their stooge to get bankruptcy protection for themselves when they're not entitled to it.
I posted some legal documents as well as some additional information in my in-depth article at our homepage on NBCMontana.com. Make sure to visit NBC Montana's YouTube page for my interview with Clay Thompson. Reporting in Barrett, Bowen West, NBC Montana.